Just gonna start recording and start talking because if I don't and I try to plan this and make time to make a video for it, it won't get done. I'm ADD, ADHD. I've got to say what's on my mind while it's on my mind, or gosh, my face. It's never gonna get done. I have horrible oil pocket right here that keeps popping up. But anyway, I just want to say there is a lot of judgment going on all over social media, all over different platforms, especially TikTok. I mean, it is disgusting. The things that people are saying to each other, the things that other women are saying to each other. Let's go put on some lotion on my face because my face is looking horrid. I feel this way. No one validates me but me. Okay? I don't need anybody's validation. I do not care what people think about me. I mean, look at me. I do not care. I'm happy with who I am. I have confidence. I love myself, and that's all that matters. So, people are really starting to be judgmental towards religions and different beliefs that they don't understand. And it's just infuriating to me, but I've managed to hold my cool. It's infuriating to me that people are treating each other this way. And it's like, what is your problem? What is your problem? Nothing is going to go back to normal. The normalcy is gone. Your new normal has yet to be determined. And picking on people because they believe strongly that something is dangerous, because they've known people that have died because of it, stop judging them. Yes, you've lost people due to COVID. You know what? We all have. And I've lost 4 people because they got a shot they did not research enough. And I just want to say, we're fighting amongst each other. And, you know, now I'm seeing black and white people just fight against each other like crazy. Black people, and I get the arguments, I understand. But there was like a white girl on TikTok, Maybay. She's got a huge following on YouTube. I used to do makeup, so I enjoy seeing the different looks, and I really like her energy. And she was wearing the Afro Puff wigs, and it really upset black people. And then, now, she's literally doing hair texture that is straight, that is more of a Caucasian texture, I guess. I don't know. But now people are judging the music she plays. Oh, she used a song that said the N-word in it. It said the N-word in it 3 times. It was a rap song. Her caption was, "We winning." And it's literally, we winning. I mean, now you don't want white people listening to black music? Like, where does it stop? Where does it stop? Oh, they start acting like us. Who cares? Just because some white people start acting like you doesn't take anything away from you, honey. You're still you. You're allowing what that person is doing and what that person thinks looks good to affect how you feel. And I'm not saying you don't have a right to feel the way you feel. Feel how you feel. By all means, feel how you feel. No one has the right to tell you how to feel, especially me with my cracker ass. But I do have a right to say this. You all look stupid arguing over hairstyles. Who cares? When you get to heaven, do you really think culture is going to matter? Do you really think any of that is going to matter? It's not. If it's not going to matter in 5 minutes or 5 years, why wait? Why, if it's not going to matter in 5 years, why waste another 5 minutes on it? You know, I mean, pick and choose your battles. You have people dying in the street at the hands of their own people. Yet you have found time to argue on social media about hairstyles. And now she quit wearing those hairstyles for a significant amount of time. And now, oh, it's the music. You just want to hate. You are looking for something wrong. And that's the problem. You're not looking at the fact that she did a beautiful job on her hair and her makeup, which is why she has such a huge following. You saw a white woman enjoying herself with hair that looked like it came from her head and said, oh, let me go ruin that. Let's have several seats, please. Now, I understand if they purposely, like, you know the type of people I'm talking about. White people that purposely start talking in such a way that mimics the way black folk talk. And it's so deep, and they haven't been raised around any black folk, yet they want to sound like the rappers they listen to, so they talk like them. That's where they're getting it from. And yeah, it needs to calm down a little bit. But you know what? They'll have to learn that on their own. They're looking for their identity. Are y'all pointing at black people that talk real articulate? No, because they make you proud. Honey, talk how you talk. I talk country as they come. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I do get a little proper because it's necessary. We all have that proper voice. It's just, it disheartens me to see so many people picking on people. You've got women that are like over 400 pounds. Going on TikTok, sharing their weight loss journey. Do you know how brave they must be to do that? That takes a lot of courage. And they face the hate every single day. We've got to stop it. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what color you are. I don't care where you came from. Your culture don't matter to me. You matter. You individually, who you are. You matter. And if you want to share culture with me one day, then have at it. But I'm not going to beg you. No one should beg. Culture is meant to be shared. It's something that grows and just kind of comes together little by little with each person. And when we get together and we share that, you want to tear it apart? Imagine if you said the horrible things you say to white girls who get box braids or mini braids or whatever kind of braids they are that are really upsetting black women. Imagine if you said something to a little tiny white girl who just had it done by a black woman at a baseball game, because there is a black lady who does beautiful braids at baseball games, and she has a TikTok too, and I can't remember her name, and I'm so sorry, but she does great work, and she does all different kinds. But let's just say she did some that maybe would normally be on a black person of color. I'm sorry, I know you guys don't like that word, so let me change it. Person of color. Honestly, it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to, baby, but that's okay. We will use person of color. And let's say she thought maybe they looked cute on her. And let's say they did look cute. But you want to run up and say, oh, you can't wear that. And you hurt that little girl. I mean, seriously. Like, y'all don't think. Because there are some people of color that will do a white person's hair in a style that is normally seen on a black person. Because in my 39 years, I've seen it several times. I grew up in a county that was 85% black. Lots of white girls went with black boys. And they dressed and did the styles. And honestly, most of the time, it was because they was best friends with that dude's sister or auntie or cousin or whatever. You was surrounded. There were no white folks in Chester County. I mean, there are, but there's more people of color, okay? And that's just the way it is. You know, y'all pick on Louisiana people because they speak Creole, Cajun, whichever. Honey, you want so badly to be a keyboard warrior and just... Is that going to take you anywhere in life? No, it's not. It won't. Because one day, we won't have these wonderful devices we call phones and iPads and laptops and whatnot. Trust and believe. It's all going to come to an end one day. Why aren't you preparing yourself to be strong, courageous, and stick up for the underdog? Why aren't you educating yourself instead of on racism or critical race theory? I'm sorry. No one needs to be brought up believing that they deserve to be treated wrongly by another race because of something that happened hundreds of years ago. When I grew up listening to the history, I was disgusted. And honestly, history really didn't do it for me. I honestly didn't resonate with history, and it's because most of it was fabricated. But I felt like, okay, what are we doing about this problem? Okay, we're not segregated anymore. We don't do slavery anymore, but we clearly, like, what are we doing about this? Nothing was being done. So now you want to teach, well, white people should just feel the way that we tell them to feel because they just need to feel that way. No, I will not feel sorry for anybody. I'm not, because I've been in the gutter. I've been at the bottom. Oh God, there's a basement under there, you know. And I'm telling you, if I can make it, anybody can. And it wasn't because of the color of my skin, because let me tell you, it don't matter where I'm from. It really, really don't. And I'll tell you what, a white person will get judged against in a black neighborhood and be fearful of their life simply because they know they're in the wrong place. But that's the only way you can get to work, so you got to walk through that neighborhood. What do? Well, I'll tell you what you do. You do what I did. You find out who lives on that street. You find out what they like, who they are, how old are they. You find out what they like to get at the corner store you work at every morning before you start working there. You learn your customers, and you don't do it so you're safe. You do it because it's the right damn thing to do, because you shouldn't have to walk through a neighborhood that's mostly black and feel that way. That's what I did. I learned who my customers were, gave them free coffee a few mornings. I was like, I'm a new cashier. Y'all just get to know me. First thing somebody said to me, you go with a black man, don't you? I said, no, I go with a white man, and he's whiter than me. What makes you think I go with a black man? Oh, because of your haircut. Honey, I got thick hair that gives me a headache. That is why my hair is cut this way, because it's easy. So you see, we got to know each other. And they learned about me, and I learned about them, and my husband would come in. And I said, there goes my cracker right over there. You see him? He's so crunchy. I mean, I cut up like that. And they got to know him. And I could walk to work. Not just, and be okay. If it was nighttime, my neighborhood homies was walking with me, making sure I got to my place safe. Respect is earned, not given. And if you ain't out there trying to earn respect from somebody by getting to know them and learning their struggle, and I don't mean getting to know them and learning their struggle so you can try and change their mind to fit what you think people should believe. You need to respect what people believe. I am a LDS. Not a lot of people respect LDS, and I don't care. They don't validate me. I respect other religions, even Satanists. You know why? We all got a part to play in this. You understand? Without the dark, you cannot see the stars. If you think you can just slide right through life without experiencing great evil, you are so wrong. It is meant for you to experience great evil so you can know great good. And I'm just so ready for all of us to get on the same page. And let's experience all the good together. But everybody's too busy looking at what's wrong. We are what's wrong. We're thinking about the wrong thing. We trust one-sided news. And the side that has the the advantage thinks their news is always right. And it's a shame. We got to do better. I want to say this, and then I'll be done. Because this is what I normally came to say, but a lot comes out. Like I said, that's why I have to record. Regardless of what I got going on, I just got to put it out there. I got to quit being scared. And I need to say what comes to my mind, because people need to know there are like-minded folk out there. And if people want to tell me I sound crazy, baby, go ahead. You do not validate me. I shared my gospel with somebody privately in Messenger, because I found out she had cancer and she had it removed, and then she found out she had more cancer and her house got sold out from under her, and she was just having a bad day. And something prompted me to reach out to her and offer to send missionaries to her. I said, hey, they ain't got to come over I could just give them your number and they could just call you and just pray with you, girl, and just help you have some peace of mind. I said, if you do what you always did, you're going to get what you always got. You got to do something different, baby. So just take a little leap of faith and just try a little something different. It's just a prayer. You ain't got to listen to the message. That was 6 months ago. My good 12-year friend, Leanne Winham, beat cancer and is getting baptized March 1st into the LDS church. She called me last night. And she never calls me. She always texts me and says, hey, can I call you? She's just so sweet. And she said, Nicole, that night that you sent me that message, I had already contemplated and planned out how to unalive myself. I just hadn't executed it yet. But I was planning on it because I didn't want to fight it. I didn't want to go through this. I didn't want to deal with cancer. I just wanted to die. She said, but you sent me a message. And you just totally redirected me. And I said, it wasn't me redirecting you. It was the Holy Spirit. Because you acted upon my prompting. I got a prompting to share the gospel. You acted upon it and took it. Because I've been sharing with her here and there just what I had been experiencing. I don't push my beliefs on people, but when something good happens to me, I like to share it. I have a lot of good things that happen to me. It gets a lot of people's attention. People start asking about my church because they think that, it's helping me have the good faith that I have to help me get what I want in life. It could help them. To know that had I not acted on that prompting, that she may have taken her life, put me on my knees last night in tears. To know that if I had not acknowledged that spiritual witness, that child would have been lost in her own despair and possibly taken her life. Here she is 6 months later. She has beat cancer. She said people tell her she don't even look like she's just beat cancer. She don't even look like she's had it. So be kind to those who don't believe as you do, please. We receive spiritual witnesses all the time that we are in the right place at the right time. I have evidence of these things that I believe to be true. I always get people throwing polygamy at me, and it's like, dude, we criminalized that a long time ago. And we had women and orphans whose daddies and husbands was killed because angry mobs constantly chased the Mormon people. I have journals from my ancestors because I have 6 different families that went across the track. So there are stories where women fell in love with their husband's brother. Not their brothers. They fell in love with their husband's brother who took them under their wing after their husband was murdered. And he took her and her kids. They fell in love. They had kids. I mean, that's what you did. And Christians seem to think that something was wrong with that. If it was a revelation from God, how was it wrong? Abraham had more than one woman. Who was it? Isaac had more than one woman. There's many men in the Bible that had more than one wife. Now, Sister Wives, I like that show, but I'm going to tell you what. I skipped on up to like the 14th season after I watched like the first 2 or 3. Honey, I don't know what they did, but Cody got full of himself. He did. He got full of himself. And Janelle, I just love her. She's a team player. If they were like swingers, she would be a team player. I'm not into that, but I'm just saying, like, she is a team player. She has the spirit, and you can tell just by the way she is. But she don't play no games neither. But that Cody, he's gotten so full of himself, he don't even see his family. I mean, he's let the fear of this whole thing just get to him. And for me, it's like this, honey, Jesus, you washed in the blood. Why are you even worried about a virus? If you get it, you gonna be fine. If you get it and die, well, honey, you saved by the blood. You gonna be fine. But it is what it is. SOCKS. It is what it is. I'm vaccinated. I can't fly unless I have it. And guess what? It costs a lot to drive across the entire country because I'm in Arizona and my kids are in South Carolina. So I'm going to see them for the first time in 2 years this Friday. I mean, I had to get it. But I also prayed and fasted for months and months and months about it and got my answer. And I applied Mark chapter 16, where Jesus is talking to the disciples and he says, you will lay hands on the sick, you shall heal, you shall speak in tongues, you shall cast out devils in my name, but you shall do even greater things than these. You shall drink poison and not die. And I carried that out when I got my vaccine. My pharmacist even said, amen. So, I mean, that's just me and I'm fine. That's my faith for me. You got to do what's best for you, boo-boo. But I did the J&J because it's a one and done. I don't want to get a whole bunch of shots and boosters and things like that. I don't even do the flu shot. I don't do none of that. I have a very strong immune system. So, you know, people just, they're all different. And, you know, maybe what they're doing works for them. What I'm doing works for me. Just because maybe you got molested in the Catholic Church or the LDS Church, I don't even know if it's ever happened in the LDS Church, but I'm sure somebody will share one of their stories if it has. Just because it happened in your church doesn't mean it's happening in every single church around the world. Because my ward is an amazing ward. And the people are very close-knit. And I'm just telling you, every ward is different. My brother's ward, which is 30 minutes away, very different. I don't feel comfortable there. I feel like the people there are very judgy. And LDS are not supposed to be that way. But my ward, very calm, very cool, very mellow, laid back. I mean, we're all just friends. We're all friends. We all hang out together. We all hang out with each other's families. So it just depends on where you're at. I mean, and no offense, but assault and abuse take place in every denomination because people are there. I mean, hello, none of us are perfect. I'm not saying that anyone deserves to be sexually assaulted or anything like that. I'm just saying no one is exempt from evil. And anyone can turn to the devil and be his trophy at any moment. You could have gotten molested in that church, or you could have gotten molested in preschool. It was bound to happen because it was a trauma that you had to experience, unfortunately, because somewhere along your life, you are going to blossom from that trauma. Trauma is meant to bring us to our strength. And a lot of people don't understand that, but I do because I've experienced a lot of trauma. Brought on myself mostly, but I have experienced some where it wasn't. And no one deserves to be hurt or harmed. But we cannot assume that only one denomination hurts and harms people. We can't assume that only one church hurts and harms people, okay? Because no one is exempt. The judgment has to stop. When we assume, we make an ass out of you and me. You get it? And if I get hate, if I even get any views, I'm nobody important, I promise. But I have a lot to say. And, you know, I hope people will listen because I don't expect anybody to go and do anything I say, nothing like that. I'm not that way. I just feel that we need to share our experiences. You know, share your life and don't be afraid and be brave because maybe the more we share, the more we will learn from each other.